this is where the fun begins.
Get ready for raw, unfiltered Razorback talk. Nobody knows what they'll say next. It's time to go inside the hog pen with Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, and Sarah Swish Vogel.
Let me talk to you.
Hello, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It is another episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Oh, I'm excited because we are just 48 hours away from the greatest season of all, baseball season. But we got a lot of things to get to before then. Joined by my buddy, my co-host, and the glue that holds the whole thing together, Marcus MC Carlton, holding it down in the NWA, in EA. My bad. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, how's it going?
You know, it's Lover's Day.
It is. It is. Love is in the air.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, there's going to be something in the air at Bud Walton Arena. We just hope it's love.
Ho! Shots fired. I hope everybody had a great day. Hope everybody and all of your loved ones, whether you're out to dinner listening to us or you're at home chilling, thank you to everybody joining us tonight. If you don't mind, leave us a review. It can be 1 to 5 stars. Doesn't matter. You can tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell me when to shut the hell up and let MC talk. As long as it's something and as long as you recommend us. I don't care.
Or tell me to quit crying about stuff on Twitter. You know, I don't care.
That will never happen. That will never happen.
I mean, they could suggest it, but it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, true. Very true. Make sure you leave us follow us on all of our podcast channels, wherever podcasts are found. I don't know what you listen, how you listen to podcasts, but whatever you do, check us out. We've got some exclusives coming up, especially during baseball season. So that's going to be something y'all are not going to miss, and you're not going to find it anywhere else than on our podcast channel. So make sure you subscribe and follow it. All right, MC. Before we get into the great topics, we do have one piece of information to pass along to you. Legendary athletic trainer Dean Weber has passed away, and everybody knows Dean Weber was the trainer of all trainers there on the campus of the University of Arkansas, and our hearts and our thoughts go out to his family and our condolences as well. Dude wasn't in. I mean, when you think of Razorbacks, man, I mean, that's one of them. He's one of them.
Yeah, he's right there. You know, I think it's safe to say you could mention him in the same breath with Frank Broyles and Nolan and you know, Lou Holtz, and anytime you think of legendary Razorbacks, okay, so I think you could put Dean right there in the middle of them.
That leads me to ask the question of the day, and that question of the day is, who's your ValenSwine? Get it? Valentine, ValenSwine. Credit MC for that one. When somebody mentions Razorbacks, who's the first name you come to mind, whether it be a player, coach, or even I'll even go one further and go play, you know, whether it be on the court, on the field, the baseball diamond. When somebody mentions the Razorbacks, who do you think of? Leave us your comment, leave us your answer in the Hog Wildlife Fan Feedback, and we will definitely get to it.
So I think I know yours. We haven't talked about this, but I'm going to take a stab at yours.
All right, lay on me.
D-Mac.
You are incorrect.
Oh, okay.
You are incorrect.
Right. Okay.
That's what most people's answers are going to be, though, is Darren McFadden. I mean, it's an obvious one. It's an obvious one.
Yeah. Mine's a little more old school, and it's hoops because I'm the hoops guy.
Let me guess. Ronnie Brewer, Senior.
Nope. Not that far back. I'll give you a big hint.
Let's see. Big Nasty.
Absolutely.
On the nose, baby. Mine is Brandon Burlsworth.
Okay. All right. Double B. Yeah.
Double B. All right, let's jump into the Hog Wildlife fan feedback.
Feedback's blowing up on us already, man. I like
We've already, our top 2 comments are our royalty. Casey Sutton and Mama Linda's in the house. She says, hello, everybody, from Casey. And then, of course, from Mama Linda, she says, hello, ITHP. Got a great Valentine's surprise this afternoon. Got to speak on the radio, Drive Time Sports, with former Arkansas Razorback Sidney Moncrief. Okay.
Super Sid. Yes.
I thought that was Mama Linda on the radio this afternoon.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Y'all forgive me. I'm currently getting over a very bad sinus infection, so I'm sipping on some Theraflu before the game tonight.
I got to meet Super Sid a few years ago. He was, he does like consulting and motivational speaking and stuff. Right. And he was actually doing an appointment, whatever you want to call it. He was out at Westside here where my kids go to school. And he was speaking at this event that my mom was in charge of. And so Mom texted me. She's like, I don't care what you're doing. You need to get out here. And I'm thinking, oh God, what's wrong? And she said, there's a guy here that I think you're going to want to meet. And I get out there and I know who he is right away. As soon as I see him, I'm like, oh my God, that's Sidney Moncrief. And so like he'd been working with my mom on this project for quite a while. And he's like, so he comes up and he's talking to her. He's like, Miss Carlton, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, hey, I want to introduce you to my son. And I mean, I kind of had one of those, one of those I mean, my tongue didn't get too thick, but, it took me a second. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm standing next to Super Sid, like the original Razorback basketball legend. So yeah, it was awesome.
I met Sidney Moncrief. God, it's been years. It was one of my awards banquets from when I played Pee Wee basketball in the early 90s. But I got to meet him a few years later. I got to meet Big Joe Klein. And then 95, right after their NCAA run, I got to meet Big Nasty at a JCPenney's in North Little Rock.
I was there.
So I
was at that same event, man.
Yep.
I was there.
Yep, little kid, man, little kid. David Hoslett says, good evening from Coppers Cove, Texas, my hometown that I claim because I was in the military and lived.
Okay, so what part of Texas is that?
Central Texas. That's going to be about 45 minutes outside of Waco.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, good evening from Texas, then. That's awesome.
Right. Sam Jones says, Woo Pig has cut me with his tusk on ValenSwine's Day.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah,
especially during basketball season. Yes.
Yep. Hey, MC, your audio is off for those of us listening.
Okay.
Trevor Kaiser, my boy Trevor, man, says greatest show on dirt. # this is baseball. And it sounds to me like he is at home sick with the Rona. That's
sucks.
Bad. And then, of course, Sam Jones coming in from Rockwall County, Texas. I know where that's at. And then let's see some of our answers for who your ValenSwine is Mama Linda says D-Mac. Mm-hmm. Sam Jones says ValenSwine has to be Charles Ballantyne. Duh. Yep.
The late great.
Trevor Kaiser went with one I didn't think he'd go with is Joe Adams. Dan Yoakum says Trevon. I can't even with you, Dan. Not tonight. I got to put a star by that one.
He has purty hair. Mm-hmm.
He's got purty hair.
Okay, so am I the only one that when I first read that, I read it in the Sling Blade voice?
Nope, I was right there with you.
He got that purty hair. Mm-hmm.
He got that purty hair. Got that mustard biscuit. Yep. Chris Rogers says, woohoo, damn pig. Jesse Randall Thurman says, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, Jesse.
He says, Peyton Hillis is one of my all-time favorite Hogs, both for what he did at the university and what he's done in his life after college. Okay. I have a little bit of a different view, but he's a good kid, no matter what. He's a good kid. Amanda Carter is better than El Paso, Texas, I'm sure. Fort Bliss, the sorriest. Never mind. I can't say that on air.
I spent a week in El Paso one night.
Why?
I was down there for work.
What are you staring down at Tijuana from like 500 yards?
No, I was shooting video at where were we going? We stayed in El Paso, but the game was actually across the border in New Mexico in Las Cruces. But we flew into El Paso.
All right. David Hoslett says it's close to Temple, Texas, between Austin and Waco. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'd say it's about 45 minutes outside of Waco, about an hour. David, I think it's an hour south of Austin.
Okay.
Frank Bruder says it seems more peaceful this week. You have
love is in the air. We've got the whole love motif going tonight. We're gonna be on our best behavior.
Maybe for you. Maybe for you, but the night's still young in my book.
Hey man, I just got out of the gym. I worked all my stress out, so I'm feeling good right now. I'm woo-sawing over here.
Dylan Madden says it's hard for me to put a finger onto one hog. DVH is the most legendary in my life.
That's a good one.
Okay, so I got it backwards. See, this is why I have David in, because I failed land nav. He says north of Austin, south of Waco. So I was close. Frank says, I'm sure that's what that is. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. Hey, so our first topic of the night, Arkansas pulls off the upset. Yes, and I'm gonna call it an upset against Georgia, 78-75. And MC, I caught most of it, but we're still struggling to hold on to leads.
We're just inconsistent, man. We're just inconsistent. We'll have 3 or 4 minutes where we look pretty good, and then we'll have 5 or 6 minutes where we just look brainless. I mean, we were up at one point in the second half. I think we were up 12, 13 points and just quit playing defense and let Georgia go down and score and get back in the game and make this game a lot closer than it should have been.
I mean, didn't they blow us out when we went to Athens earlier this year?
Yeah. They shot pretty much the exact opposite of the way they shot in Bud Walton. I think they were like 2 for 20 or something like that on 3-pointers Saturday in Bud Walton, and they shot about 65% from the field, if I remember correctly, when we went down to Athens a few weeks ago. So I don't know, man. This bunch, at this point, I think you got to start hoping. You got to start realistically looking at an NIT bid.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask this as a devil's advocate type thing. Okay. If Arkansas gets an NIT bid, okay,
yeah,
do we accept it to keep the streak alive of postseason appearances, or because we talked about this in our team chat, or does Muss just kind of turn it down and go, I'm shutting it down this season. We'll start again next year.
Me personally, this is just my opinion.
Okay.
I have a higher bar than playing in the NIT.
Which is?
So, well, you make the dance. That's the basement. Making the dance is the basement. I feel like, a few years ago, I think it's 3, maybe 4 years ago, whatever, may not have been that long. North Carolina had a down year. And they were invited to the NIT, and they turned it down because they felt like they have higher standards than the NIT. I feel that way for Arkansas as a whole of a program, to where Muss has brought this program up. Under Mike, I would like to say we had those same standards, but we didn't. But with what Muss has done,
under Mike, we couldn't get past out of the first. We couldn't get out of the first round.
We couldn't get out of the first weekend. So.
So, I mean, if I was Eric Musselman, I would turn it down.
Yeah, I agree.
Because these guys, they're not showing that they want it bad enough during the regular season. What makes us think that they're going to do anything in the postseason?
Well, and that was my next point I was going to make, is that, we're having a hard enough time getting these guys to lock in and focus and play regular season games. If you get into the NIT, which is nicknamed the Not Important Tournament.
Yeah.
If you get into that, I mean, whatever guys don't opt out, the ones that are left, unless it's like your walk-ons and your Joey P, I mean, most of the guys that are going to play are not going to care.
So let me ask you this then. Okay, let's take this scenario for example. You have to win the SEC tournament to get in. You have to get that automatic
getting in. Yes.
Okay. So let's say you have to do that, okay? And then all of a sudden, you're not in the tournament, but you're in one of the first 4 play-in games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then what do you do?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, think about it. Do you run your lineup out there that you've ran all season? Or do you take a chance?
If you make it to the first 4?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And then what is that? Okay, so what is that going to say?
Okay, hang on. It depends on what lineup you ran with in the SEC tournament that allowed you to run through that and get the automatic bid. Whatever lineup you use successfully in the SEC tournament, if this dream scenario comes in and Arkansas wins, let's say 4 games in 4 days and wins the SEC tournament and gets the automatic bid, whatever lineup you were playing with there, that's what you roll with.
I agree. I know, again, this is just me looking at different scenarios. I know somewhere Sarah's head's exploding if she's listening.
Yeah, she's already sent message by Musk.
Ah, there it is.
Merle, I mean.
There it is. Merle's in here trying to tell us to shut up. But I'm sitting here thinking of all the different scenarios and things. But
right.
Okay, so we make the tournament. You're in the first 4, but you lose that game and you don't make it to the main bracket.
I mean, technically, you're still in the dance because
is it a successful failure of a year?
Well, the year is still a failure. The year is still a failure because of what happened up to that point. Now, it is like a small miracle if you get that automatic bid and make the first 4. Then no, I'm not sharing because it's taking everything I've got to get through this. So I'm not gonna share.
Trust me, y'all. Trust me. This is the tame MC. We want him tame. Look, everybody's asking if he's okay.
No, I think they're talking about hang on.
Oh, wait a minute.
You found it.
Yep. Hang on. Chris Faracci. Oh, wow. He says, how about my son was at the Chiefs parade today where they shot the place after the parade. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a mass shooting today at the Super Bowl victory parade in Kansas City. 21 injured, 1 dead. 11 of those are kids. So, and they do have both shooters, by the way.
So, Chris, you got to let us know, man. We hope your son's okay. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be commenting on it if he wasn't. But
yeah, no,
give
definitely.
us that confirmation, brother.
He did say Chris did say that. He was okay. It was a little scary at first when we heard it. Yeah. Let me. I'm not going to go into detail, but Chris hit me up on my personal Facebook page, and I'll tell you a little story. To kind of help you guys get through it. But Frank says, we've won it before, just don't see it with this team unless players all of a sudden accept a role instead of trying to be the dude.
Frank's spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it just is what it is. I mean, the portal is a gamble. It's like if you're one of these teams that shoots 3-pointers all the time, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. All right. Must depends on the portal for most of the roster. And this is just one of those times that the portal has it's come up snake eyes.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to get you all set for tip-off at the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Central Time on ESPN2. So hang with us. We're going to take you right up to tip-off of Arkansas and Tennessee tonight. And MC, I got to ask you this before we go to break.
Okay.
Any chance that we somehow miraculously pull off another giant upset? I mean, again, it's a top 10 team against Tennessee. They're in our house. The lights are on us. ESPN2. What kind of a shot do we have?
I mean, there is a chance. There is a chance. Tennessee is, they don't play real well on the road. They went down to Texas A&M, I believe it was over the weekend, and got just shellacked. So you're going to get one of two things. You're either going to get a team that is reset and refocused and playing lights out, or you're going to get a team that if you go out and punch them in the mouth real quick, they may fold because they're already basically damaged goods coming in.
Jesse Randall Thurman says, I don't think they have it in them. If they did, I think Muss would have found it by now.
I agree, Jesse. I agree 100% with that.
I mean, he's right. Usually the telltale sign is we go, we start falling off at the end of non-conference.
Mm-hmm.
We struggle out of the gate, if the first couple of games of SEC play. Right about mid-January, early February, right about this time is when we kick it into gear and we take off with it. we keep tripping over ourselves. I just don't think.
It's not. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I have analyzed this team up and down every way I know how, and I just don't see this one coming together and working out like the teams of the past. For one thing, we don't have a clear-cut leader on the floor. Okay?
We really don't.
No, teams of the past, you had last year it was Anthony Black. Clear-cut, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to him, Jalen Williams.
Yep.
Prior to him, I would say either Note or Jalen Tate. You know,
I'd split time between those two.
Yeah, I think it depends on the night with those two guys. But this team, I mean, who is your dude that's going to grab everybody and take control? We don't have that dude. We have a lot of guys who think they are that dude, but they're not.
I can say who we thought it would be.
Well, I can say, yeah, and I can say who it should have been, but it hasn't worked out that way.
Should have been big old number 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again,
that's your captain. That's your team captain. So,
and that's that's the sad is you know this team has got the potential. They've got the talent. What in the hell happened?
Yeah, we've seen what this team is capable of. Okay, we haven't seen it much, and we haven't seen it since November 29th when they beat Duke. That was the last time we saw it, but we've seen what this team is capable of.
But it shouldn't take a big game to bring out the best,
Yep, I agree.
To bring out the want to win. Jesse says, I put my money on Tennessee to cover. I hated to do it and will root to lose that bet, but it's just a gut feeling.
I think that's a good bet. I mean, I haven't even seen the line, but I would take Tennessee to cover.
Eric Jernigan says the law of averages worked against Muss this year. It was going to happen eventually. I have no doubt that Muss will reinvent this team for next year. He'll learn from this year's mistakes. Here's the thing. He may have hit home runs in the portal on a single player. Okay, and we've said this all season long. He may have thought, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good. But he took the guy that carried every team that he picked him from and tried to make a team out of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it didn't work. They all want to have their me moment instead of the we moment.
Yep.
I agree.
I
Frank
agree.
says, we don't have a big that wants to do the dirty things.
100%.
Funny he worded that way on a night like tonight. No pun intended.
But I mean, you think about it. J. Will, Stanley Amude, Audis Tony. He was, I wouldn't really consider him a big.
Who was the one? Who was the one? Justin
Smith.
Justin Smith
came from Indiana.
Yeah.
That dude would do the dirty work, and he played a lot bigger than he was. He was only about 6'7", but he played about like he was 6'10" or 6'11". I mean, you don't have those guys, and that's what this team is missing.
Loki says, honestly, to me, this season is pretty much a bust. Maybe next year will be better, but at least they aren't anywhere near as bad as the
Fustercluck.
I'm glad you said it.
Word.
I'm gonna start using that word now. That football was.
I like it.
And you're right, Loki, to a point.
Mm-hmm.
But comparing basketball to the football season, as of right now, they're pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah, I would say that to me, basketball was the bigger disappointment. I did not have the bar set as high for football as I did for basketball, and especially after that Purdue game. Dude, after that Purdue game,
I had to pull you out of the
flights
Kool-Aid.
to Phoenix, brother. I
had to pull you out of the Kool-Aid.
I mean, see this picture? I was like, I had two of these just dumping on my head of the Kool-Aid.
Picture, if you will, the scene from Flashdance.
Yes.
Okay, that's MC. That was MC after the Purdue game. I kid you not.
Yeah.
I kid you not. We're going to step away and take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we continue our basketball discussion. Plus, we talk about our first date with the baseball team. You're listening to Inside the Hog Pen on Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this. All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton hanging out with you. All right, dude. On your screens, and we're going to, for those listening, we're actually going to let you know. Number 8, Tennessee comes into Bud Walton Arena tonight, top of the hour, 8 p.m. on ESPN2. I don't have local channel numbers for all of that. Check your providers. I know it's on YouTube TV, DirecTV, all the major providers. If you do not have any of those, be sure it's on the ESPN app as well. So if you have the ESPN app, you can check it out there too as well. But MC, dude, we're closing in on the end of basketball, and you know the end is no pun intended, but you know the end is near when baseball season fires up. So we only have 4, maybe 5 games left.
Yeah, I was looking at the schedule earlier today. There's just a handful of games left because when you get to like the second Thursday in March or second Wednesday in March, that's going to be when the SEC tournament starts. So, okay, basketball, we've got tonight, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left. And then March 13th is when the SEC tournament will start in Nashville.
And then the following week starts the
following week would be the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
So, which actually falls on spring break week for Arkansas high schools, and then where I work at A-State, we're on spring break that week. So that's I timed that perfect because I'm taking that week off, and then Thursday and Friday, if Arkansas is playing or not, I'm going to be glued to the TV because it's March Madness.
There you go. Yeah, you're in enemy territory up there in NEA. you are deep behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
Hey, David Haslett makes a good point. The egos wouldn't let Devo lead, and the reason I say he makes a good point there is because it's not just Devo's ego, because we have seen that rear its ugly head as of late. But it's the combination of everybody.
Yeah, there are more egos on this team than I think a lot of people are aware of. Everybody's seen everything that's gone down with Devo. There are other, sometimes, everybody's got that person at work with that they don't jive with. Okay, that you just, you see the dude coming and you're like, oh God, and you turn and go the other way. I kind of feel like that's how the majority of these dudes are on this team.
That's me on a daily basis when I interact with people.
That's just, you get stuck on a team project at work with a bunch of people either you have nothing in common with, or you can't stand to be around them, or they just, aggravate you to the point of you're just like, God, just get me through the day.
If you ask my boss, that's me on some days and not me on other days. So
I just feel like that's the way this group of individuals, because Brad Staten made a comment over there, said we are not a team. We're not a team. We are a group of individuals wearing the same uniform.
Now, I'm gonna butcher this name so bad. I apologize. Gil McGarity comes in with a hot take and says Hogs will upset the Vols tonight. And
I like it, Gil.
MC, that's the thing, is he's not the first person I have said that. Most of the talking heads here locally like the matchup with Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that the problem that I see tonight is Dalton Connect. You when you have a guy that's scoring the way he's scoring for Tennessee right now, I think he's averaging 23 or so a game. You have one of two ways you can go on defense. You either try to contain him and make somebody else beat you, or you let him run hog wild, no pun intended, and then shut down everybody else. So whereas he might come up and have 45, but if you hold everybody else to 20 as a team, I'm just throwing numbers out, but if you hold everybody else to 20 as a team, that's 65 total points. Okay, got a pretty good shot there. I think we're averaging 68 to 70 points a game, but I don't know which way you go with that. I don't think you let Connect get hot. I think you try to contain him to about, if you could hold him to, let's say 15 to 18 points, I think you got a pretty good shot.
So a couple more notes on basketball, and then we're going to switch over to what everybody else wants to talk about, and that is baseball. Chris says, upset tonight and Sarah misses class tomorrow. Give me the odds.
Take the over.
100% take the over. And yeah, dude has the word connect right there in his name. You know he's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Essentially. So, that being said, last time, number 8 Tennessee comes in as an 8.5-point favorite tonight, top of the hour, 8 p.m. We're going to lead you right up to tip-off on ESPN2. So don't worry. As soon as we're off the air, you can flip it right over to ESPN2 and see. Well, okay. So it says
with it being a late game, we're going to start on the Ocho. So
we're going to start on like the Ocho or News or You or one of the other channels. And then by the first commercial break, then we'll go over to ESPN2. But now, got to talk about something that not a lot of people are talking about right now, MC, and that is the softball team shooting home runs like Cupid's arrows, winning 4 of their first 5 games, man.
Yeah, they went down, had that Paradise Jam tournament or something like that, and got off to a really good start. Won, beat an extra innings against Penn State, but a couple of the transfers that came in had big games. You know, Sarah is kind of our softball guru, but I was looking at some stats and stuff earlier today. Feel like they're off to a really good start. The extra innings loss against Penn State early in the year here, I mean, you take that, learn from it, and but I mean, we all know what a meat grinder the SEC is.
Even that Penn State loss wasn't even a bad loss.
No, it's like 3-2, I think, in extra. So,
and I mean, so Courtney Deifel's got that team right where they need to be. And man, I got to tell you, one of the things I'm looking forward to. How many of you guys are going to the game this weekend? It's more importantly, how many of you guys are going to be there Saturday afternoon at Baum-Walker Stadium? Because I got to tell you something. Your boy, Razorback Zach, for the first time in the 2024 season, is invading the hog pen. I return home for the first time in 2024, and I am excited. So if you're there, let me know. But MC, dude, we're 48 hours away from what everybody keeps looking forward to, and that is our first date, nonetheless, with the Arkansas.
This is the baseball Kool-Aid.
Is it now?
My cup is about to runneth over. I said I wasn't going to get sucked in, but you know.
Don't lie to these people. Don't lie to these people. You were sucked in before this. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I can say I'm not going to get pulled in, but here I am. I'm still holding on to that thread of the basketball team. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm double fisting the Kool-Aid on baseball.
Jenna says, dump that cup on your head and shake it. Let's not.
I'm going to save that for the celebration from Omaha. So
let's not go that far just yet. But man, I tell you, looking at this team from top to bottom, Peyton Stoffel, obviously broken foot, not out for the season, but not entirely a make or break for the team.
Yeah,
given the depth.
I mean it's a loss, but we are deep enough to overcome that. It's not, like you said, it's a 6-week or so injury, and then he'll be back. Okay, so 6 weeks, you're probably looking at the beginning of April.
Yeah,
when he's back, give him a couple midweek games to knock some rust off, and then get him back in. I think the first weekend in April is the Ole Miss series. So if you could get him back for that Ole Miss series there in Baum, I think that could be really, really good.
I was looking at the rotation that DVH put out this afternoon for the and
starting pitchers. Yep.
Yeah, one of the things that struck me, he's going with 3 lefties and a righty.
Yep. 3 left. How about when's the last time we've had 3 lefties as starters? I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure it's happened.
I'd have to look at the media guide to find out.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a pretty nasty trio going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You go Hagen Smith, Brady Tigert, and Mason Molina. Molina's the transfer in that was a starter at Texas Tech. So he's not exactly somebody that's green you're bringing in to be your Sunday guy. but you got 3 lefties right there that you're gonna roll out to start your season with.
I do like the fact that I like seeing Brady Tigert in there. The other thing, and you made a mention of this in our team chat the other day, that our catcher is batting leadoff.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Hudson White is going to get the first start at catcher, and he's going to be batting leadoff with Peyton Stovall on the shelf right now. And I was telling everybody in our group chat that we have, I don't know that I've ever seen on any level where your catcher was your leadoff batter. So that tells me that they have a lot of faith in his ability to not just hit the ball, but to just get on base in general, because that's the role for your leadoff guys. Just get on base.
I will say, and one of the things that DVH has always been on point with is how he rotates guys in. And the first couple of series, I wouldn't say necessarily when we go down to Texas so much, but the non-cons leading up to full-on conference play.
Yeah.
Where you're starting to play conference guys regular on the weekends again, is the depth that we have this year. You may not see the same lineup from game to game.
Yeah.
And I think now he's got the pieces in where he can finally say, okay, if one guy goes down, it's not, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's just next man up. He's got, this team's got that mentality now. I think, from what I've seen and what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, from everything I've read, and we've got some comments talking about it too. This is the deepest that Arkansas has ever been at catcher. Hudson White, the guy that's getting the start on Friday. Everything that we've read and heard about him, yes, Jenna Mays is correct. He is an absolute beast based on everything that has been put out there about him. And then let's not forget Parker Rowland was the starter last year, and I thought Rowland did a pretty decent job. I mean, he wasn't. He wasn't a Casey Opitz or a postseason Michael Turner, but he was just a solid dude that went out and did his job.
All right, I'm going to say this just to be a smart ass.
Okay.
But do we have any rental players on our team this year?
Well, so the better question is, do we have any rental players that are going to get fired up and start playing way over where they've played the rest of the year once you call them a rental player? Because...
And hey, I am not. There's only a handful of players that I will say off air who I don't think are true-blooded Razorbacks. But Michael Turner, he was a Razorback and will be a Razorback through and through. All right. And I will never let
I love the fact that, I mean, when all of that went down, with the whole rental player comment and everything, at the time, I mean, he had been kind of struggling a little bit. I think it would be safe to say that Turner was in a bit of a slump, but he went like full Incredible Hulk mode after that. And he was the most valuable player of the regional at Stillwater. I mean, dude just went bonkers and really was one of the main guys that got them to Omaha that year. And I mean, it was wild to watch, man, because it was like, oh, okay, you're going to disrespect me like that. Okay. Stand back, watch this.
Right. So our boy Jonathan Parker, where have you been, Jay? Come on now, JP.
Yeah.
Where you been? He says with Van Horn saying the freshman catcher is a better version of James McCann, that's high praise. Then when it's hard for coach to hold back his excitement, it gets us all pumped up. And he's right. DVH doesn't get excited. He doesn't. This man is about as stone-faced as I've ever seen anybody. And I saw a video. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it too. It's on Twitter. The video of Ben McLaughlin hitting that moon shot, and they pan over to DVH, and he's just. I mean, jaw all on the floor. I mean. Yeah. So Adam Hall wants to know over under 45 wins.
Ooh, you're gonna play right at 60, like 62 games. Woo, man, that's tough. Golly.
I'll take it. I'll be honest with you. I'll take
the over. I'll take the over. I'll go with hard overhead and take the over with the little asterisk of all your key guys stay healthy. I mean, that's been the thing with baseball. That's what got us last year. We had too many guys go down to injury.
Well, so far So far, everything's good.
Yeah.
So far, everything's good. Frank says, wouldn't be surprised to see White at catcher and Helfrich as DH by conference season. And I agree. And he says we have Aloy for 2 years, not old enough to be draft eligible this year. White could be a rental.
Okay. All
Possibly.
right. Good to know.
And then Brad Staten says, Gage Wood, our closer. Yeah.
I think with putting, I think so. Because when you're seeing Taggart in the starting lineup, I think that tells me that they're going to either try to turn Gage Wood into like a Matt Cronin type closer, or maybe there's somebody else in mind. To me, Gage Wood is the one. He kind of has the mentality of a closer. You know, he's that guy that comes out very emotional, adrenaline pumped up. I mean, he kind of fits the motif of one of those crazy closers. Matt Cronin, who was the closer on that 2018 team, that was just phenomenal. He would have the whatever coach was out in the bullpen with him slap him like
that was
like Rick James 5 fingers to the face, slap him.
We need another person like that. We need another person like that.
Yeah, I think Gage Wood could be that dude.
I would love to. And here's the thing, Gage Wood, his mentality. I mean, you sprinkle a little bit of Matt Cronin in with that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just cold cocks him before he comes out on the mound. Okay.
Phil Elson used to call Cronin the fire-breathing dragon.
Yes.
And I thought that was a cool nickname, and it fit him perfectly. And I see a little fire-breathing dragon in Gage Wood as well.
Yeah, not to mention you got Cody Frank coming out of the bullpen too.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I see Cody Frank and Willie Mack being those guys that could do like some middle relief.
I thought Willie Mack got drafted. Is he still on the team?
I think he's still on the team. I'll double check
Jenna!
the roster. Yeah, Jenna, help us out here.
I thought Willie Mack. I swear, I thought Willie Mack got drafted.
See, I thought I had seen. Okay, Jenna says he's still here. So
okay,
thank you, Jenna.
Right.
Appreciate that.
Wrong. I was wrong. Not the first.
Bailing us out. Sarah left us hanging. Jenna comes in with the save.
I could have sworn he got drafted. I thought he was. Maybe he got drafted and decided to come back.
So I mean, you got Willie Mack coming in along with Cody and Cody Frank. If you remember, before he got injured last year, he was looking pretty good. I mean, he was wheeling and dealing.
Adam Green, and I read the first line, and all I could hear was the Stain song in my head. He says, it's been a while. I'm finally out of my depression from football season and basketball season. Hey, I'm right there with you.
Look, y'all, baseball's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Frank says, Jenna Mays, apparently you're the expert. I mean, hey, we lean on everybody. If you got the answer, we'll give you credit for it. But, yeah, man, first game is Friday night. I think is it 6 or 7?
I believe.
Or are we talking early?
I was thinking an afternoon game. Let's look here. I think 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
Okay, so we don't actually start late games for a while.
Yeah. So this series goes Friday 3 o'clock, Saturday 2 o'clock, Sunday 1 o'clock, and then high noon on Monday. You got the rare 4-game series.
Boy, I'm gonna be at work listening to that game. So Saturday 2 p.m. I will be in the hog pen. Be looking for me. I will be running around acting all crazy. No, I won't. I really won't. God knows I don't need landmarks. Sit down. Can't do that.
Yellow Coat Brigade.
Right. So we got James Madison this weekend, and then next weekend we are in the home of the 2023 World Champions, the Texas Rangers, down there in Arlington. Beautiful ballpark, by the way.
Yes, very much.
If you guys haven't gone, you need to go. Brad, are you friends with Brad on Facebook?
Yes.
Brad puts nuggets of information out that make me roll every morning. He says, I've got answers, but there's no guarantee they're correct.
He's kind of like the old Saturday Night Live skit, The Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy.
Right. By the way, happy belated birthday to one Brad Staten, by the way. Frank says, I'll be in the bougie seats, but I'll have to make a visit to my second home in the spring.
Oh, pinky out for Frank in the bougie seats.
My, oh my, Frank. So, All right, dude, we're going to cut these people off early so they can get ready for their for the game coming up at 8 o'clock. Final thoughts before we get out of here tonight. Give me a score prediction and wild hot take.
I think we played pretty decently, but I think we come up a little short. I'm going to say Tennessee 79, Arkansas 74.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Unfortunately,
watch us get blown out by 20.
It pains me to do that, but I'm going head over heart.
Watch us get blown out by 20.
Yeah, I've had enough of being embarrassed at Bud Walton.
Right. Loki says, I'm actually going to Arlington later this year. I am so excited to go there, especially since I get to see the World Series trophy in person. I know, right? I'm trying to talk Katie into going, but I don't know. Anyway, for Marcus MC Carlton, I'm Razorback Zach. You have been watching an all-new episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Don't forget, 8 p.m. ESPN2, top of the hour, Arkansas, Tennessee from Bud Walton Arena. Until next time, so long, everybody.